Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I have for you my contour and highlight routine. I get so many questions on how I contour and highlight, and I know that I run through it in my tutorials, but it is very quick. So today I'm going to do a more in-depth video showing you exactly what products I use and how I go about highlighting and contouring my face. So this is the final look that I achieved from the tutorial. So if you're interested in finding out how I got it, please keep watching. So I've skipped over concealer, color correcting and foundation, and if you want to see how I do this, please let me know and I'll do a separate video. Now that everything is nice and blended in, I'm going to go in and highlight, and I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I absolutely love this product because not only does it conceal a little bit more, it also adds loads of brightness to the area. And with highlighter, you want to go maybe a couple, maximum of 3 shades lighter than your skin tone. And if it has a yellow underbase, it'll work even better because it'll just increase that highlight. So for highlight, you want to highlight the areas that you want in your face to just kind of pop out and appear more prominent. For eyes, what I like to do is create a line that goes from the corner of my eye to the corner of my nose and then up in an angle to the side of my face. And what you want to do is kind of fill this inverted triangle in, because that's the area that you want to highlight. And by going down in a triangle, what you're going to do is make it all look seamless, as opposed to having kind of those panda eyes which are very highlighted just straight underneath the eye. You also want to make sure that you don't go too close to the lash line, because the product can just cake up there and that can make it look quite unnatural. I'm also going to apply a little bit to the bridge of my nose, just so that you focus on that central area and my nose looks a little bit slimmer. And then I'm going to apply a little bit on the center of my forehead and to the center of my chin. And now that you look beautiful and covered in lines as if you were a tiger, you can go in with your fingers and just blend everything out. And again, I like to use fingers because, like I said earlier, this just makes everything look a lot more natural. And I'm going to go in again with my beauty blender just to make sure everything looks perfect and seamless. And as you can see with my beauty blender, I'm not really dragging, I'm kind of more just patting it onto the skin because you don't want to move the product you've applied. I'm then going to go in with contour, and I like to go in with a cream contour first because I find that that looks really natural, and also it helps the powder contour last longer throughout the day because it kind of helps it stick onto the skin. But you can actually go with either or. If you want to just do a powder contour because you're in a rush, then powder contour is perfect for every day. But if you're going for a special occasion or a night out, then you might want to do one over the other. I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer. And I really like this because A, it's super affordable, and also it's got really nice shades. So I quite like this one. You want to use a color that is at least 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin. You don't want to go too dark because it can end up looking muddy, but you want it to stand out a little bit. And you want a cool brown tone. You don't want something that is shimmery or that is too warm, because what you want to create is the illusion of a shadow. So shadows tend to be a little bit on the grayish side. So what you want to do is, with this, I'm just literally gonna remove the excess on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to make a line that goes underneath my cheekbone. And if you can't find your cheekbone, just suck in your cheeks and you will see, you can actually feel it with your finger as well. You will see where your cheekbone is, and you want to create a line just underneath that that goes from the corner of sort of your ear down all the way, and it shouldn't go past the center of your eyeball because it'll look unnatural. So suck in your cheeks. And then you want to do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to create a little bit of a line on my jawline. And you want to create a line where your jawline should be, as opposed to where your jawline is. So my jawline isn't very defined, so I'm just drawing it a little bit above the jawline. And then I'm going to contour a little bit on my forehead. This obviously depends on how big your forehead is, so you can go with as much or as little contour as you like. And then I'm going to contour a little bit on my nose. So my nose is quite thin here, but it's quite broad on the tip. So I'm going to contour mostly on the tip. What you want to do with contouring is kind of make the areas that you want to look smaller or slimmer a little bit darker so that they're less prominent. I'm also going to put a little bit on here because I want my nose to look a little bit lifted. So I'm just going to create a line just there. And now that I've contoured all my face, I'm just going to go in with a brush. I'm using the Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to blend everything out. And just blend out on my forehead. And blend out downwards on my chin area. And it's great to take it a little bit underneath because that will help to avoid any double chin. For my nose, I'm actually going to blend it out using fingers just because the brush is a little bit too big. Now that everything is a little bit blended out, I'm going to go in again with my beauty blender just to make everything look seamless. Contour a little bit here, just making it a little sharper by applying a little bit of concealer. I'm then going to blend everything out using my beauty blender. Now that everything is nice and blended, you want to make sure that you set everything in place. To set everything, I'm using the Anastasia Powder Contour Kit, and I'm using the yellow banana shade in it to set the highlighter. And you can actually use any kind of yellow shade that you like. And the reason why I say use yellow is again because that intensifies your highlight. So I'm literally going to use a big fluffy brush. This one's by Dior, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pat it on the areas where I've highlighted and concealed. And I know this might look a little bit cakey now, but when it sets in, it'll just make everything stay in place. And now for powder contouring, my favorite is the Anastasia Contour Kit. And the reason why I like this is because you've got every shade that you could possibly need just in one kit. And the pigmentation is good. It's not too pigmented, but at the same time, it's pigmented enough that it'll show up. So to do my contour, I like to use a tapered brush, and I'm using this one by Tilbury. The reason why I like a tapered brush is because you want to get into the corners and into the right areas, and if the brush is too big or too spread out, then you're not really going to be able to contour in the right areas. I like to bronze my face a little bit first, so I'm using the warmer tone in the palette, Havana, and I'm going to use this just to bronze up my face a little bit. So I'm just going to go over my cheeks, and a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my chin and the bridge of my nose. Just the areas where the sun would hit you naturally. And then to contour, I'm just going to go in with the Fawn shade, which again is a very cool brown tone, but it's not too muddy. And I'm just going to go into the areas where I previously applied the cream contour. So it's underneath my cheekbones. And you want to suck in your cheeks and smile. That's the best way to see the area. And you really want to apply this very lightly and really blending it out. And using the same shade, I'm just going to contour my jawline. And again, like I said, you don't need to do cream and powder. Powder contour is very quick and easy, and cream contour looks a little bit more natural. So it depends on the look you want to go for and also the time you have. I'm then going to apply a little bit just on the side of my face because my face is broader on the bottom than it is on the top, and this is going to make my face look slimmer. You also want to make sure you apply a little bit of contour here because if you had a very prominent jawline, there would be a shadow here. So you just want to apply a little bit of powder there and then just blend it downwards. And a little bit onto the center of your neck because that'll make your neck look slimmer. For contouring my nose, I'm going to use a fluffy brush. This one's by Sigma and it's actually an eyeshadow brush. And the reason why I like it is because it's quite small and tapered. And again, you just want to go over the areas where you applied the cream contour. And just make sure you blend it out well on the sides. You don't want any kind of weird lines on your face. If you wanted to highlight, you'd go in with a powder highlight, which would be the ultimate glam look. And I love the powder highlight by Kevyn Aucoin. So I'm just going to dab my brush into it, and I would just highlight the top of my cheekbones, so just smile. And then just take it a little bit into the apples of your cheeks. I like this highlighter because it's more glossy than really shimmery. I'm also going to apply a little bit just above the center of my eyebrow, a little bit on my chin, on my cupid's bow, and a tiny bit just on the tip of my nose. If you wanted to complete this look, you just apply a little bit of blusher onto your cheeks. I'm using a peachy pink shade by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm just going to apply a little bit to the apples of my cheeks and then just blend out. I'm just going to finish off my lips and my eyes now, and I'll show you the final look. So this is the final look. I've added a little bit of pink lipstick, some eyeliner, filled in my brows, and added a little bit of mascara. So I hope you liked the look, and I hope the tutorial was useful. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I can update you every time I upload a new video. You just need to hit the subscription button below. Also, please don't forget to follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I've left my links on the screen. And also don't forget to check out my blog. It's jasminabarwani.com, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it. Thank you for watching. Bye!